Okay, so I repeat, we are going to take an example of magnetic train as an example of control system modeling using a PID controller, right? So the magnetic train, we have a magnetic train here. I call the name a T. T is a magnetic train, and it is flowing or passing or moving through a path or a rail. I call R. This is the rail, shown in black color. This is a magnetic rail. Okay, so this through the rail the magnetic train can pass by manipulating of the magnetic field of the rail and train. That is, you can say, the principle of maglev or all those magnetic trains. So leave all those scientific principles, magnetic principles and torque, all those things. Right now we have to understand the functionality. The magnetic train can move over the rail by inducing a force on the magnetic train by some mechanisms. So okay, so we are not going to think about what is the mechanism is generating the force. It can be a repulsion or attraction, magnetic principles, whatever. So right now we are just that force has to be guided exactly such a way that I'm able to catch a falling brick or catch a ball falling box. Okay, so this is a box falling from the top, so I call it B. Okay, so this will be falling. Okay, so this uh, box will be falling from the top and will be falling in particular position. Now your task of your control system is to catch this box, right? So as soon as the box is going to hit the ground, your train has to come exactly below that point and catch the box so that it doesn't hit the rail, right? So we can model this as a small engineering problem by this is a y-axis. You can see there's a y-axis. So y-axis will tell you how much distance this box has to travel, or maybe it is starting from zero. It'll give 1 2 3, how much distance till a maximum distance of 8 or something. Okay, so the y-axis tells you where is the present position of the box and how much it is traveling. So that is the y-axis. Now what about x-axis? X-axis will tell you the current position of the magnetic train and how much it has to travel and where it is reaching, etc., etc. So x-axis and y-axis are defined. Okay, so your problem statement is defined. There's a magnetic train which can run over the rail, it's a metal rail, and by how it is going to propel, it is going to propel by the magnetic force Fa. Okay, so this magnetic force, I call this F, magnetic Fm, you can say is Fm. This magnetic force Fm has to be induced in the magnetic train so that it can flow or move over the rail, so that your main problem statement is your box which is falling has to be caught or has to be caught by the train. Okay, so your the problem statement, your as an engineer, your problem statement is you have to manipulate the force. Input was, what is the input here? Your input is Fa. What is, sorry, Fm, magnetic force, and magnetic force is applied inside the magnetic train. So you have to manipulate the magnetic force Fm so that your magnetic train is exactly placed below the box which is falling from a position y from the rail, or you can say y from the top, right? So this is your problem statement. So your control system has to be designed, your control system what you design has to manipulate the Fm so that your output is say position, you need to reach a position. Yes, that means your output is you're aiming to reach a position x reference. I call this is x ref, you can say r xr, right? You need to reach a position xr. So what is the idea? If you reach the position xr, your box will not be falling onto the rail, or it will not be falling onto the ground. So your magnetic the train can easily catch it. Okay, I think it is understandable. Okay, so this is your this. Now we have to design a controller. So what is the input and what is output is defined. So your controller has to manipulate, or it has to variable or the physical quantity that controller is able to give output as the Fm. Yes, Fm has to be manipulated accordingly so that your magnetic train is exactly below the box while it is falling to the rail or the ground. Okay, so you can visualize in your mind that you have giving some force F, and there's some friction or not with friction, may not be friction is the, so it is less sliding, the magnetic train is sliding. So the velocity of the magnetic train should be dependent upon the position of the box it can this any force we can change the force. It's not that it will be constant force. You can vary the force in between also based on the position of the box. So based on this, your controller has to give fm into the system, into what is system. Now let's consider what is the system, right? So I think I'll just take a snap here so that can again come back to this. Okay, so this is, now let's again go back to basics. We have been discussing some of the systems. So here we had taken example of a tanks. So here output is m dot. What is m dot? Mass flow rate. That is volume of water input to the tank per second, right? Now we have a reference level. This is the level about which we need to fill the tank. So we can reference level. This is the reference level, right? Now what is the output? Output is nothing but the level. The water is already there. So this is your water level. This is the output. That means the level or the height of water. This is my output. So you can say this is a plan. This is a in a control system, in a control system language. This is a plant. Okay, in this plant or in this control problem, input is mass flow rate. So this is controlled by the motor, just pumping water into the tank. So the input to the plant is m dot dm by dt. dm by dt, that is change of mass of water with respect to time. That is water being pushed into the tank or pulled outside the tank. If it is negative, it is a water drained from the tank, right? If it is positive, it is a water pushed into the tank. So that is the input into of the system, right? So this is your control system, we call it as plant, and this is your system. So your input is m dot, and what is your output? Output is your level of water, right? The how much volume of water you have till now, or how much, right? So that is height of water is the, or you can say, yeah, this height of the water is your output, right? So here in the same, likewise, if you define the same parameters in the present problem, what will be your input in the current train? In the current problem, this is your plan. Your magnetic train is your plan, or you have to catch the box falling from the height y and by your magnetic train. So your input is to system is Fm, magnetic force into the train, is the your input to the present system. And what is the output? Your output is nothing but the reference, x reference. You have to reach a position x reference, x reference, so that you can catch the box. So this is your present control problem. Okay, so now let's take some more examples so that we are just familiar with yeah, we are just familiar with the same thing, right? What is the same thing I'm talking about? um let me put some examples. Yeah, so okay, so some more examples I want to give you. Say about, say for example, take an example of airplane. I don't know why students are still joining. Okay, so let me do it. So the same control problem, take an example of an airplane. What will be the airplane? So this, your plant is right now an airplane. Okay, so what is the input to the plant? Now we need to change the direction of the airplane, right? So what we use in an airplane, we know that there's a rudder, right? This is the airplane. So what is the rudder? There's a point in the backside. This is called rudder. So the position of the rudder changes, it can change the direction of the airplane, right? Although it has wings also, but more than wings actually control the elevation and rudder controls the direction. So this is the rudder. Okay, so how we control the rudder? The rudder is actually controlled by the pedals of the pilot. Okay, the pilot, like accelerator we have in a two-wheeler or in a car. In a airplane, we have the pedals which is below the leg of the pilot, which is controlling the rudder. Although we have other mechanisms to control the wings also, the elevation or the wings also within the pedal. So here the rudder movement, the change of the direction, inclination of the rudder gives the direction to the airplane, right? So in this model, we can say that what is the input to the airplane plan model? Okay, so what is the input here? It is a theta of the rudder, because rudder is going to change in some angle, right? So this angle is going to the input to the airplane model. So this is the theta in the rudder. Okay, theta in the rudder. So I'll write theta in the rudder of the airplane. Okay, theta in the rudder, or theta created by the rudder in radians. Okay, theta in the rudder. Fine. So this is controlled by the actually the pilot, which is manually controlled. Now, what is the output here? The output in the airplane model is the direction which the airplane is turning, right? So what is the direction? Which direction your airplane is going to change? That is the direction, right? We can measure in angle of theta, and again, maybe phi may be the angle. Okay, so this is output is phi. How much angle the airplane is rotating or measured, or angle turned by the airplane. Usually we call it scientific terminology, we call it yaw, pitch, roll, pitch, and yaw. Roll, pitch, and yaw. If you see the accelerometer or even gyroscope, you can see there are different angular measurement like roll, pitch, and yaw. So this is your output. Okay, so this is simple model. I'm trying to give you some examples of the control systems which we are trying to model. Now the airplane, the input is your rudder. Based on the angle variation or change in the angle of rudder, your output of the airplane, the measure, the angle turned by the aeroplane is going to change. Okay, so ultimately what we need to do, we need to control we need to control the direction of the airplane. So how we control the direction of the airplane? By changing the angle of the rudder. So who changes the angle of the rudder? The pilot changes the angle of rudder. Now the question is, I want to make a control system which automatically changes the angle of rudder, right? If it is going autonomous or closed loop mode. So then comes the need of control system. So we need this is a controller. Instead of the manually controlling the airplane, now what we need a pilot. We need a pilot to we need a controller to do the job of the pilot. So the job of the controller is to control the theta or the rudder angle, okay, based on the input from the pilot. So the pilot has to give some reference. So pilot just clicks or use some joystick or something to give the input to the controller. So we need to design a controller here, right? So we need to design a controller which, based on the input from the reference value from the pilot or the driver, it has to design a theta. It has to change the value of theta. It has to connect it. This input of the pilot will be connected to a motor or something, and the motor will be changing the position of the rudder, right? So this will be going to the airplane model. So this whole airplane is going to change its direction, right? So, and then we can have a feedback also. So the output can be measured using some sensors. How many angle, using a gyroscope, I can measure how many angle the airplane has changed, and I can feed it back to the um, yeah, back to the here. I need one error thing. I can give it back to the, so this is minus, this is plus. Now what is going to input to the control system or controller is the error signal, right? The error signal is going to the input to the controller C, and the controller generates some torque or a force or something. Here in this case it is a theta, okay, or usually it is the electrical voltage to the motor which controls the rudder, something like that, right? So rudder is always controlled some motor or some kind of manually controlled, something like hydraulic system. Usually it is hydraulic system, but automatic control, we need a motor for better electrical motor, right? So this is a feedback system using some sensor. I'm going to feedback the angle using gyroscope sensor. I'm going to feedback the angle to the controller, and whose reference value, how much angle I was supposed to turn, reference angle reference phi, which I was supposed to turn, will be compared with the present angle turned, and the error will be going to the controller, and controller again adjust the rudder position. Okay, so this is another example of the airplane model. Another example I'm going to give you is a robot, a simple robot. So what is the robot here? Robot is a plan here. So robot we are trying to control using our controller. So robot. So what are the thing we are trying to control in robot? Now we are trying to control the position of the robot. So I can say the output. What I'm trying to control is the position. POS position x comma y. This is something which I'm trying to control, right? So position I'm trying to control. So how I'm going to control the position in a robot? By changing the torque, or we can say some force, or making change the angle of motor. So I can say the how the rotation in happening in a motor torque. I am controlling here the torque. So I'm trying to control the torque input to the motor or the robot torque. So torque is my input in the autometer, right? So where the torque applied, it is applied by the motors. Torque is applied by the motor. So basically I'm trying to control the motors. So here in this plant, or which is called a robot, I'm trying to input. The input into the robot is a torque, and based on the torque, my robot is going to move some position x, y, z, or whatever, right? So that is my output. So the output is physical quantity is position, x and y position, two-dimensional, and the input is a torque to the motors, maybe two motors or one motor, whatever. So this is the input. Now we need some sensors here also to measure the position, how much is the real-time position which the robot has been moved, and it has to be compared with the reference. It has to compare with the reference position. So we need a reference which has to be input from the user or some other mechanism. This is minus and this is plus. So what is plus? My reference position, where my robot should be as per me. As per me, my robot should be, this is not plus one, this is plus. The reference is plus and the feedback is minus. Okay, so this reference is the position which the human or the operator want the robot to be, but the real position measured by the sensor or accelerometer or the position sensor, displacement sensor, the real position of the robot. Now this reference minus actual position will give you the error. This will give you the error. Okay, this will be error, right? Now this error will be going to the controller. Error will be going to the controller. Okay, now based on the controller, based on the controller action, you can model the torque in motor so that you can reach the position xy in exact model so that the error is zero. Okay, so ultimately you need to make the error zero so that the robot is exactly placed in the position where I want, or the user want, or the operator wants. Okay, so every time it is giving the feedback of the current position and checking whether the reference position equal to current position. If it is not equal, that error is e, plus or minus e. Now this error is going to the input of the controller, and the controller again going to manipulate or change the torque in the motor so that the robot is trying to reach the position or reducing the position. Now we are controlling. Now we are discussing about the C controller part. Now we are what kind of controllers we are discussed. We are control PID controller, PA controller. Although we are not discussed completely PID, we have seen there's a proportional controller, integral controller, differential controller, and there's a possibility of PI controller, PD controller, etc. Okay, now we are focused on the C part. Okay, so this is what I'm just discussing, the plant, how the plant is controlled by the controller. Okay, so I guess you are getting the point. Now we will come back to our example. So we have three examples. What are three examples? One is your water level controller tank, where input is the input to the plant or the water level system. Water tank system is your water flow or mass of water or volume of water. Here we are taking m dot. There is mass of water in getting inside the tank per unit second, or the mass of water getting outside the tank per unit second. That is one example. And your output is your level of water, right? Height of water your tank has. So we have seen the input and output can be different quantities. And second example we have taken is airplane. So airplane has to change its direction some angle. So this angular change has to be based on the rudder position. The rudder, we discuss what is rudder, and this rudder has to be controlled manually or by the control system. So we need to design a controller which will automatically change the angle of the rudder by which the airplane output angle is changed. So we need an output sensor which measures the angular change of the airplane, and this will be compared with the reference change which we wanted. The pilot when flying the plane wanted some kind of degree with the yaw is called yaw angle, which the airplane want to turn left or right, whatever. So this yaw angle will be real yaw angle measured by the gyroscopes is compared with the reference yaw angle which the pilots want, and this error is going to a controller. Now based on this error signal, controller is to generate the some change in the angle in the rudder again, so that the airplane is going to same yaw angle as desired, right? So this is the function of controller there, to manipulate the rudder angle so that my airplane is exactly following the trajectory or exactly going the required yaw angle. Okay, now we'll come back to our problem statement. Now we have the problem statement. Now we can scientifically analyze the problem statement we are discussing. Now the problem statement again, I'll for the those who are joined uh, just now, I'll just again define the problem statement. Now we have a train, magnetic train, which is over a rail. So this is a magnetic train, and this is over a rail R. Now our desired objective is the magnetic train should catch a falling box. Catch a falling box falling from any height. Y, maybe it can be Y can be 10, Y can be 8, Y can be 20, whatever. So this box is going to be fall from the top to the rail or to the ground. Now our idea aim is to make the design a train magnetic train, and so that it can move by applying some force on the internal force, applying some internal force fm within the magnetic train. I have to move it so that I can catch this catch this box, right? Now let's see what are the terms involved which we are trying to control. So Fm is the force which we are trying to push the magnetic train. Now, first of all, let's me draw two axes. What are the two axes? One is y-axis. This is y-axis to understand what is the current position of the box. Y-axis, right? Y-axis, right? Now, so this is y-axis in a yt with respect to time, your position of the box. Now I again need an x-axis also, so that I can know what position is my magnetic train. So this I make x-axis, x with respect to some time. Now our reference, what will be our reference here? Our reference position which our magnetic train should reach is, this is our reference. This is our reference which my magnetic train should reach. So I call it x underscore r. This is my reference position which the user want the magnetic train to be here, so that it can catch the box, falling box. Okay, now what is the current position? The current position I call it as x. This is my current position. This is called x. This is by measured by the sensors. It may be some position sensors, whatever. So this is x is measured by the current sensors. And what is the error? We can see that the error is the difference between x and xr is my error, right? This we are discussed here. Now our desired position is xr. Desired position is xr on the right, where it will catch the box. Magnetic train is going to catch the box exactly. Now, but my current position is x. So the error position is nothing but, so error position I can try ex. This is ex. Error is nothing but x reference, x underscore r reference minus present position x. Okay, so this is my error. This is yellow line error. Okay, here we can see error is positive because the magnetic train has not reached the position of the x reference. So it's right. Now here we have to know the case studies very perfectly. So we have to know that there is assumption. First we assume that there is no friction, right? Let us make a decision or assumption that there is no friction, at least, although ideal, but it's still practically it's very important, this assumption. So there is no friction. Now we have to know how much force Fm should I give so that the magnetic train can exactly catch the box. So that's a question. Now, but we know that the train will also have a force Fg, which is acting perpendicularly downwards towards the earth. So that is Fg. And now Fm is the force which the magnetic train should be given so that it will catch the box. Now we have got x, this is a position, and this is the error. Okay, then we have the Fg. Now we have to also have some force on the box also. The force box will also have a force Fg, force due to gravity, right? So this folds also we have to take into consideration. Okay, now we are going to design a PID controller, so that the PID controller is going to manipulate the FM. Here the input is, you should know that here the input is nothing but FM. Okay, FM, we are making a plan model of this system. So FM is my input. FM is my input to the plan. What is the plan? The whole system is the plant. Your problem statement itself is the plant. What is the problem statement? Your magnet train has to catch the box. That is your whole plan. So input is FM. What is the output? Output is, what is your output? Yes, can someone tell me what is the output? Yeah, output is the X. X is your output, right? X, you're trying to control the X, no? So the output is nothing but X, right? So you're trying to make the X equal to X reference, right? You're trying to make the X output of the plant equal to X reference, so that your magnetic train can catch this box, right? Are you able to get my point? Any questions? I just want you to understand the problem statement so that you can understand I'll be sharing the problems, this PID controller design, so that you can adjust the PID controller so that um, your box can be perfectly caught by the magnetic train. So before that, you have to understand the problem statements. So input to the plant is force, magnetic force, FM, and output of the plant is the position of the magnetic train. Okay, so we need to design a controller. We need to design a controller, one controller which will apply a exact required magnetic force, so that magnetic train is going to catch the box, right? So what is the input to the controller? We know definitely input to the controller is going to be some error. What is the error? This error is coming from the difference of the current position and current position, this is minus, and the reference position is as plus. So what is the reference position? Definitely it will be xref will be input. So xref is the input. So now you have to be very clear. We will be exactly giving the x reference, that means this point xref to the system, right? Based on that, we should manipulate the position of the magnetic train, this magnetic train, so that it can catch the box. But there is a one problem here. There is no friction here. So what is the challenge here? When there is no friction, we can see the this can slide. The box will be sliding, so it has to catch exact position. If it is a bit earlier, if it is reaching the position a bit earlier, because of friction, it is going to miss the box, right? So are you able to understand what I'm trying to discuss? Maybe I'll give a small simulation of what is what I'm trying to convey you. Okay, maybe I'll give in the here only I'll give you. Okay, fine. So for example, so this is your y axis, this is your x axis, or we can say this is the rail or which your magnetic train is going to run, and your magnetic train is here. Say it's initially it is a position x, which is sensed by a sensor, and the box is going to be fall from a position, any position, it can change, randomly change also. This is your box. Now it is because of the force of gravity is going to be fall from some position. Now this position can call x reference. So the error is the x minus x reference. Now you have to design or desired the controller has to divide what should be the magnetic force given to the magnetic train. Magnetic train, I call the train T. FM should be given to train T, so that the exact position when the box hits the rail, it has to catch. The train has to. If it is a bit earlier, it is going to exceed. You can see it will be going much faster, going to exceed, and then the box is going to fall. So it is going to miss the box, right? So if it is a bit slower, it definitely is not going to catch the box. So this has to be a controller, and which can intelligently decide using, we can use P, PID or PD or PI, whatever controller we can decide, so that the FM, which will be controlling the FM, and based on the FM, my movement of the magnetic train, by help of the magnetic train movement, I am able to catch the box. This is a typical control problem, which we can practically try to design something. And I think in some labs, in usual control system labs, we will to have a self-balancing machine. In recent news also, you can see there is some companies developing self-balancing two-wheeler, like self-balancing bikes or scooters, which will be very good for blind people or persons with disabilities, right? So this is self-balancing system. This one example is self-balancing system. This is another example. We are able to catch a box automatically. Okay, so my point is, I'll be sharing some small design with you so that you can change the PID values and understand and is what are requirements. Maybe P value should be this much, Q value. So we'll understand based on the simulator. And I think you have some Python environment, right? You are familiar with Python. So this code I'll be sharing with you. Of a Python code, I think you need a Python 3.0 something, whichever you already have, and I think you need to have NumPy or NumPy library. I don't think there is any other NumPy or something. Yeah, that's it. So you can see the simulation, and you can vary the P, I, and D values or constant values, so then you can have a feel what will happen. But if you use only P, your thing is not going to work. If you use only P, your controller is not going to be work perfectly. That what is the meaning of only P? That means D. PD is going to zero. Integral value constant is also going to be zero, and you can see whether it is going to working or not. And then you without P you can try with only I, and without P and I you can try with only D and see what is experiences. Are you able to catch the box or not, etc. So maybe I don't need to give you a simulator, because I'll as you get the code, you can just run in Python, and you can see that in simulation that based on your values of P and ID constants, your success rate is going to be different and all those things. Okay, so I think this problem statement is at least clear to all of you. If it is not clear, I can explain again. Or is there any doubts? You can ask me.